you guys, and welcome back to Life of a Sickle Cell Warrior. Today is gonna be my 21 questions, as I said on my introduction video in the comments. Was it even in the comments? Y'all don't even know. It was in the description. See if you gotta get it right. It was in the description. I have some questions that people wrote, and then some questions that people inboxed me. So I'm looking at the questions on the phone. Got another phone because you gotta have the question somewhere else. Yeah, so I'm about to start, like, I don't know, I'm in a different setting because I just got off work. So I was like, come on, if you gotta record, you gotta post your next video, like, girl. All right, so question number 1 was my name. My name is Latifah. I'm just gonna go by Tifa though. Y'all already know my last name. No, I'm kidding. It's Jefferson. Where I'm from. So, well, I was born in Richmond, Virginia, but I lived in a country town called Pulaski County. It is still in Virginia. A lot of people know, like, Roanoke or Christiansburg, so it was like near there. Like, I think like 30 minutes from Christiansburg. Don't give me the line. I was real young. And I came back here in 5th grade, started 5th grade. So yeah. My favorite color. My favorite color is purple. To be specific, it's lavender. I'm obsessed with, like, lavender. Like, don't get me wrong, I love purple, but lavender is just like, lavender is it. Like, you know? What do I like to do for fun? Eat. I know that sounds so fat, but no, so serious. Like, if you give me food, I have like a whole dance when I'm eating, like, food legit, like, just eating. Like, I would travel for food. Like, if I go somewhere, everybody knows hands down, Latifah knows the food places because she done Googled, did all of this. So I like to eat for fun. That sounds so bad because I don't know what else I like to do for fun. I like swimming. We can say that because that has nothing to do with food. So, you know. Favorite place I traveled to. I don't know. I haven't been, like, a lot of places, but the places I have been to, I don't know, because I recently just went to Louisiana, but I'm trying to see if that, I'm going to have to say Hawaii, because only reason why I'm going to say Hawaii, because that was, like, the first place that I went on a plane to. Is that even a right sentence? I don't know if that was a right sentence, but that was the first time I got on a plane and went to Hawaii. And when I tell you, oh my God, and again, I did a whole food tour. It surrounded food, so, but I also did swim with dolphins. So that was, like, really fun. I'm trying to think what else I did in Hawaii. And, you know, chill on the beach. Like, their pictures are, like, gorgeous. Maybe I'll put, like, a picture over here somewhere. It'll be on one of those sides. Maybe after this whole thing. How is everyday life with sickle cell? Working, traveling, school, friends. So everyday life with sickle cell, as far as, like, working, I really never worked a job where they kind of didn't understand, really. I kind of, when I first, like, start a job, I would tell them, hey, I have sickle cell, or even if I don't put it on there, eventually, like, you know, I'll say, hey, I have sickle cell. I'm just really trying to think of, like, any job I had where it was, like, kind of difficult. And I really had issues with the job, surprisingly, shockingly. Only day sometimes I will say I push myself too hard at a job. And that I needed to, you know, learn, you know, Tifa, hey, you need to, I mean, you can do it, but you need to cut back and, you know, sit down. Like, you know, cut it back. So that's one of my issues I have, is pushing myself too hard. Traveling. So I never really had issues with traveling until I went to Louisiana. But you take all the precautions you can when you travel. So of course I messed up. I didn't hydrate myself as much as I should have, and of course my Louisiana trip I still had fun, but I was in a crisis like the whole time I was there, but it was manageable. So and just when I travel, I just have to make sure I'm hydrated, I eat. If I do need any medication, you don't really have to pre-medicate yourself to go on a plane, but it's mostly like the takeoff that can really kind of really mess with you sometimes. But I haven't had an issue, knock on wood. Any traveling take off on a plane. It's just I think I mentally like prepare myself, like sometimes taking off. I try to do my research to figure out like the temperature, what it's going to be, so I can prepare myself as far as like what I'm going to wear. And just, stuff like that. Some stuff that, people be like, oh, well, you're just going to wear clothes. But like if it's hot, pack jackets. That's my whole thing with traveling. School, I had a hard time in school. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like school, but, in school, try to have best. The hospital was my second home, so I missed like a lot of second grade. I remember I missed a lot of second grade. So school is a little bit different. The part of like waking up early, and a lot of people is like, oh, that's something like simple, waking up early. But sometimes waking up early was for me because my body would hurt. Going to the bathroom more, so. And if I didn't need to sit in class, I can go sit somewhere else to do like my work and stuff. So that's how that was set up in school. How everyday life is with friends. I have a very small circle. we'll say that. We'll say it's a very small circle. I think everybody kind of in my circle kind of understands. A lot of them, before they met me, I don't think they knew too much about sickle cell, or they may have heard about it, but haven't like being like close contact with someone who has sickle cell. So if that makes sense, y'all. So a lot of them understand like I can't be too cold. I mean, a lot of them like if it's too cold, they'll roll up something. If I can't do something, they're not really too pressed on if I can't do it. Like if I'm in the hospital, they will come see me in the hospital. They will like ask me like, am I okay? It's like little stuff that they do that it may not seem like something big to other people, but just the little stuff that they do is like really big to me because I'm so used to like being an adult, like with sickle cell versus like pediatrics. I'm so kind of used to doing everything like on my own, so they kind of remind me that I have somebody like there that say, hey, we're here. But I will say also, I think that they don't understand fully is when I need to go to the hospital. Yes, I am stubborn and hard-headed sometimes, so I mean I get it. I get why they be like, hey, I think you should go to the hospital, but people with sickle cell, we kind of know when to go. Like, we'll get to the point to we be like, okay, it's like really time to go to like the hospital. So it's like that sixth sense in us that we like know, okay, it's time to go like for real. And I've always known to not go until like the pain is like, I would try to tolerate it myself. Like with medication, like at home, and then I will go. But if I go to the emergency room, that means it got bad. I need to stop doing that. So that's as far as like what friends like wise. So hope that kind of answered the question. But I love all my friends, so appreciate y'all. I locked the phone, y'all, so I gotta go back. All right. Favorite movies. Alright, so growing up, I blew Where the Heart Is and Crossroads. I don't know what it was about those two movies. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. I think y'all should. They're really good. And Disney movies, but like, if I had to like pick movies to watch, I can watch scary movies all day. And that sounds so crazy because how can you go from Disney to scary movies and then those two movies? But Scary movies is my thing. I will always watch a scary movie. I watch a lot of them by myself and go to sleep. Don't talk about me. That's what I really do. Question number, I think I'm on 9. I'm on 9. How do you handle making health decisions? I will say as an adult, it has become very challenging making decisions for myself. You know, in pediatrics, you have like, even though like the doctors is talking to you, which I'm grateful that my mom, when the doctors were talking, she was like, she's the patient, talk to her. I'm just here because I have to be here, but I'm still listening. So if she needs like anything or I need to make a decision. So I'm very grateful that my mom did that. Because like now as an adult, when I turned 18, I wasn't much of an advocate for myself. So I would kind of let the nurses and like, I'd be like a pincushion, or like I would let them like do anything. But now it's like, oh, when I walk to the doctor, I was like, oh, Miss Jefferson's coming. Which, and it's not like a bad thing. It's just like I very like advocate for myself, because a lot of decisions recently I've had to make versus like stopping pheresis, which pheresis, like, where you get blood and take blood off at the same time. Making a decision to stop that, but that one wasn't by choice. That I had 2 ports on this side, so one of them got infected. So I had to make a decision to take them out, because I'm like, well, you can't do nothing with ports infected. They had to come out anyways. So that was a really tough decision. I don't think no one knew that. And I was making that as being in the hospital with this infection. So as far as like being scheduled for tests, because I had to check out like my heart, and still having to answer and make decisions. All right, Miss Justin, what are we gonna do? So kind of stopping that, figure out and like, my next like treatment plan. So I think a lot of decisions I make, they're very hard, and I sit there and I think about them, because at the end of the day, it's me, it's my body. I have to make these decisions. So they're like really, really hard. Some are easy because they're just like, oh, we can just do this. And then I just had to make like another tough decision like a couple days ago. So hopefully the right one, but that comes with having sickle cell. You have to make a lot of decisions for yourself. So question number 10. Do you tell people you have sickle cell when you start a relationship? I do. And the reason why I say I do is because I kind of want you to know what you're getting yourself into. Like, as far as like, even like dating, friendships, like I feel like I always tell people, but especially like dating, because I don't want like, come to the line, let's just say, we're out somewhere and I go into a crisis. You're going to be like, what the heck? I don't know. And I just say we have to like call the ambulance. I need to go to the doctor. You're not going to know what the heck to tell them. Let's just say I can't, respond for myself. So that's why I say I do, and give like a lot of people like the rundown, if this happens, And I wouldn't want to keep that a secret from anybody. So yeah, I tell them. Who is my hero? So my hero, it was my grandmother. That was like my whole like heart, like outside my body, which her vlog is coming too, because I went to the cemetery to visit her on her birthday, of course, when I posted my first video. But she was my hero. Like, she did like everything for me, and if it wasn't for that lady, I wouldn't be alive today. And a lot of people's like, well, you don't know that. I know that. Like, if it really wasn't for that lady, I really wouldn't be sitting here doing this. So a lot of this and what I do is for her. But yeah, that was like my everything. What is my biggest fear? Spiders. Like, spiders, hands down. If I see a spider, I'm taking flight. It's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I have legit tucked and rolled out of a whole entire car and scared the crap out of my mom because a spider decided to want to crawl across the steering wheel while I was driving. On Broad Street at that. If you live in Richmond, you know Broad Street. I surely did go from this side to that side because it was a spider. I was not. It's a no for me. How do you feel about the scars you have from sickle cell and others not from sickle cell? The scars from sickle cell, at first they used to bother me because it's like you know, you can see, because like you see a scar right here, my port's on this side now, and then a scar over here from my old ports, and then I have like my gallbladder removed. So I don't know, I embrace my scars now. At first I don't know why they used to bother me so much, because like when people want to talk about them, they're gonna be like, oh, what is that? But now it's just like, it is what it is. If I'm gonna wear something strapless, I'm gonna embrace these. If I'm gonna show my stomach, y'all gonna see them gallbladder scars, you know? Y'all just gonna see them. The scar is not from sickle cell. I'm trying to think how to best like describe that. I know I got stitches. That's like a scar, not from sickle cell. But no, I embrace that scar too, because at the end of the day, I mean, it's a scar. It is what it is. You go through life, you get them. So, do you have limitations? I tell myself no. But I'm learning how to put limitations on myself to where I need to say, okay, I can't do this, or I can't do this today. So I'm learning to put limitations because I'm so used to pushing myself to do something. I'm so used to, when I come out the hospital out of crisis, I'm so used to jumping back in. But these recent crises I'm having, I can't. So I'm starting to have to put limitations on my life, but still have the best life that I can, because it does not define me. Like, I'm still gonna do what I want to do, you know, just with a little, cut yourself off, cut it off, Tifa. Okay, this next question, I used to get this question a lot in school, which I know, you know, people just asking, but come on, y'all. Is sickle cell contagious? No. If that was the case, I think so many people have sickle cell, to be honest. It is genetic. Both of your parents have to carry the gene, the trait. So my mom has a trait, my dad has a trait. That creates me with sickle cell SS. So yeah, but if you ask Dad, he gonna tell you he don't got the trait, but sir, ain't no way, because that means somebody lying. Question 17. Do people always ask about your yellow eyes? Yes. In school, it would bother me because people would call me like a cat, like cat eyes. One dude was really obsessed with my eyes, which I appreciate you. I wish I remembered your name, so you know. But they always ask. It used to bother me at some points. I looked evil just now. It used to bother me like sometimes, but now it's just like, yeah. And then now with like, I work in the health system now, so I work around like a whole bunch of nurses. They always, I love them to death, because they always be like, oh, your eyes are not that yellow today. And then one nurse, she always be like, yeah, one of the nurses wanted to ask you. She was like, you could have asked her, she would have told you. So I don't even mind if, like, you know, if you ask somebody else, even though, like, you know, you should ask the person, but I'm okay with, you know, someone asking. But yes, I know my eyes are yellow. If I didn't know they were yellow after 26 years of life, it's an issue. And I know they're sometimes yellower than other times. So, but that's always a question. How do people help when you are in crisis? I'm trying to think. A lot of people, I think, you know, when I'm like in crisis, a lot of times they'll talk me like through it. The sickle cell, like, you know, support group that we're in, living with sickle cell, you know, gonna shout them out, whoop whoop, because they gotta be in here too. A lot of them help a lot of times because they have sickle cell. So like before we go to the emergency room, like we could say, you know, this is going on. A lot of my friends have like took me to the emergency room, picked me up from the emergency room, and I got discharged there. My best friend, she the real MVP. Like, I'm at her house now. She not here. But she's a real MVP because, like, if I need something from the store, if I need help like cleaning something, Like, and one of my other friends like help like, you know, clean, because like, bro, when you're in crisis, you don't realize how dirty your room gets. You got pill bottles, water bottles everywhere. So like they help me like clean. So that's like a lot of like small things, like I said, that like really help. Some people come sit with me in the emergency room. But it's like, you know, sometimes like, you know, I'm like, you ain't gotta send me, you know, I can call you, text you, you know, but that's not really. And then a lot of times when they're not anxious, that really helps me a lot, because I'm already anxious myself, because by the time I got there, I'm like really already anxious myself. So a lot of my friends are not anxious, because if they are, they don't tell me. or I can't tell, because like I'm in a crisis. So question number 19, what treatments have you done? I don't think I've done too many, honestly. Of course, in pediatrics, I was on hydroxyurea. They stopped hydroxyurea because I had an abnormal Doppler. And we took the infusion route. So, in pediatrics, and I only had one port. They used to take blood off by hand. Longest process. I was in the y'all from like 8 in the morning to like 4 in the afternoon. And I used to get labs like everything all in one day. It was fun missing school, but you know, not sitting there all day. My sister Real and Pete was sitting there and gave me breakfast and lunch. But, and then when they did that like for a little while, since I was like in pediatrics. Then when I started to get like to the point to where I was like transitioning out, I started something called, I almost fell out the chair. I started something called apheresis, where that's why I had 2 ports, and they would be taking blood off and giving me blood at the same time. So I know my introduction has a lot of like my apheresis like treatments. So that would, I would go get labs like the day before, because I would get like 5 units of blood. And I was only there from like 1 to 4. And then of course we stopped that because I started getting infections. So now we started back hydroxyurea again, which that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing something called Oxbryta now. So we're gonna see how that goes. I haven't been on apheresis in a year, so a thought came up from my doctor, you know, starting it again, but I need to get more discipline with taking medicine. I know, don't talk about me. How different was your life a year ago? Well, as I just said, a year ago I stopped apheresis. I think I stopped them like in March. Was it last year maybe? I don't know. And since March, I know it's been a rough year, because of course the whole infection thing, and then December hospital. Ever since December, I haven't had a month off being at the hospital. I lied to you. December I had appendicitis. January, I don't know what I was in the hospital for. February was my only month off. And then I just got out the hospital with pneumonia. So, yeah. Joy, but not really. So things been more like hospital, but still trying to live my best life, because again, sickle cell does not define you. Like, it doesn't, but we have to remember that we have it. And then last question. Wait, I think I skipped a question, y'all. I did skip a question. I'm gonna go back and answer it. I skipped it before, which I don't even know how I did that. This is why I should have said numbers out loud. So question number 4 was, who is my favorite sister? She petty. She real petty Betty. But I would have to say my sister Tessa, because she was like my second mother. She did my hair. She got me ready for school. She went with me to my treatments, and she sat through a lot of them until I got to adult world. So shout out to her. She is like real MVP. Like, and still to this day, she is like still there, and she's in a whole different time zone, sis. Like, where they do that at? But But that was the one I skipped. Hopefully that was the only one I skipped. We'll go back and count those. Then last question, what makes you happy? Can't say food again, can I? No, but I have to say what makes me happy is legit opening up my eyeballs every day. I know some people think that's like, you know, like a cliche answer, but legit, because some people don't open their eyes, and especially with sickle cell. I just think, and I've had like a lot of near-death experiences where I face death, like, you know, head on. So that's what I have to say is really like open up my eyeballs. Food makes me happy always. So, and then just like doing stuff like with my friends, or you know, sometimes like, you know, just being by myself and, you know, just in my own zone. A song popped into my head, but, and of course my family. So I think that's everything that like makes me happy for real. So hopefully I answered all these the best that y'all wanted me to. It won't unlock. Okay, I give up with this. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I answered all the questions. So I'm gonna read it to myself. Yeah, okay, so I think I answered all of them. I skimmed through it. I didn't read all these. So that is it for my 21 questions video. If there's anything else that, you know, you guys want to know, you can comment it. You can post it on any of my social medias, my Instagram, my Snapchat. I think that's it. Yeah, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. You can put it on all those. But all that will be posted below. And it will be at the end of my video. My next 2 videos is going to be my grandma's vlog for her birthday. And then day trip to Maryland because, you know, vlogging all day. But yeah, but that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you know every time that I post a video, because every Wednesday, I'm gonna agree, every Wednesday, I'm gonna come with some video. So bye y'all.